skies, and on every occasion that you do or don't smile. Every time you dance for joy.
Welcome to Sensible Secondhand Reviews, the series where we look at practical and sensible cars that you can buy for a budget of between £1,000 and £5,000. This is a 2018 Citroen C3 Mark III 1.2 108 horsepower Puretech Flair. But is it any good? Should you care? Let's find out, shall we? So the Mark III Citroen C3 came out in 2017. It was actually discontinued last year in favour of the new model, although I think they did run in parallel for a little bit, particularly the U model, which was one of Britain's cheapest cars at the time at £13,995. The engines available in this were all the 1.2 three-cylinder Puretech engines, one with 67 horsepower, one with 82 horsepower, or later I think 83 horsepower, and then this 108 brake horsepower turbo version. There are also some diesels available, but as usual, due to controversial government legislation and all kinds of other reasons, we don't talk about diesels on this channel. Right, viewers, Citroen say that this car will do 0 to 60 in just under 10 seconds. Let's go. Right, quite a long throw on this 5-speed manual. Later versions I think came with 6-speed manual. And we've hit traffic. Okay, it feels a lot faster than a lot of the cars I've driven with the 1.2 with 81 horsepower, which is the non-turbo version. Obviously, because this is a wet belt engine, and there'll be a wet belt alert a bit later on, you've got to be aware of that. They're getting a reputation, these 1.2 engines, for problems with wet belts, a bit like the Ford EcoBoost engines. To drive, actually, it's okay. You can tell it's a 3-cylinder, you can hear it quite clearly. Certainly more orientated for comfort rather than sportiness. I say actually Skoda Fabia, to be honest, is a bit better in that respect in terms of the ride and handling balance. This really is a little bit too much on the soft side to be particularly enjoyable, but it's absolutely fine. The kind of average buyer of a C3 is not going to be concerned about that, really. So there we go, into fourth. Yeah, it's fine. It's not the most memorable thing to drive at all, particularly, but you know, the car is memorable in terms of its design, which is possibly more important to the average person who buys something like this. I don't know. Certainly, it's not horrible or anything like that. It's just not particularly engaging. But whether that's a problem for you is kind of up to you, really. So this is an early third generation C3. This is a 2018 model. It's with the Flair trim. As you can see, it's got the air bumps on it, which was a thing Citroen were doing at the time. I can't remember if they still do these on cars, but certainly the C4 Cactus had these. You can get, obviously, the base model of these, particularly after 2022, the C3U, which replaced the C1, actually, for a couple of years, and that doesn't have air bumps on it. But this particular car, it does have them. It has a rear camera and all kinds of interesting things. So, yeah, I think the design of this car is quite distinctive. It's sort of handsome, really. I think it's pretty good looking. It really stands out. So we'll have a look in the boot. About 300 litres of space. It's sort of typical for this class of car, really. Do we get a spare wheel, viewers? Let's take a look in here. Oh, stuff. Yes, we do, and it's a big full-size one too. Excellent. That's going to put it in my good books. This car hasn't quite been prepared for selfie yet. It's actually had a new door on this side, and there's some scratches on the paintwork and things like that need doing. So if you see anything like that, and in fact it's not been valeted yet, you'll know why. So there we go. Got a boot light in there. The only thing I don't see is any hooks on that side. It's just one here, but only one to hang bags and things on. That's a bit of a shame, but never mind. We've got little handle there to pull this down. The only thing I've just seen as well, look at that. This is a 2018 car and it's already starting to rust. Yeah, that's not very good, is it, viewers? Anyway, let's get in here. Air bump. Let's move my bag out of the way. Well, we can put like things in here like that. That's how you sort of go. Little pockets in the back. Headroom, yeah, it's pretty good. It's not as good as a 2CV, but it's quite good. Actually, this is a sort of car that really, at this sort of level, with the C1 was a bit cheaper, but this is more like a sort of equivalent modern 2CV. I think you could get an opening roof on these. This one doesn't have one, but it would be good. No grab handles at all. Absolutely none. We've got some coat hooks, we've got no grab handles. What happens if somebody's very enthusiastic when you're driving and they're flinging you around? I suppose you just hold on to something else. I don't know. No map pockets either. That's interesting. I wonder why that is. That's a bit of a shame, viewers. So we've got some nice big door bins, but no map pockets and no grab handles. Interesting. Okay, there's a cup holder down there, I suppose, as well, for people in the back to share. Plastics feel, I suppose, they're all right. You know, they're not the most expensive feeling ones, but this wasn't an expensive car when it was new, so you know, that's fine. I suppose the sort of air bump theme continues on the interior. The only thing is, if you put something like this, or my car keys, or the phone in there, that's going to slide around when you're driving quite a lot. And it's not a very deep pocket, so things will sort of poke out and might fall out. Like the C4 Cactus, we've got these interesting interior door handles. On this particular car, that passenger is sorting out, so I'm going to have to open it from the inside, which is fine, I suppose. I'll do it in a bit. So the Flair model is actually pretty well equipped. We've got things like, I think that's lane keeping assist down there. We've got automatic wipers, automatic lights. We got this touchscreen, which is a bit annoying, but never mind. A lot of PSA things have this, don't they, in Stellantis. Even more annoying is you'll wonder why the manual for the car is down there. That's because, like so many of these, they didn't bother to move the fuse box from left to right hand drive. So the fuse box lives there. That is what you get. You can't fit the manual in there. And my circuit documents don't fit, which is even more important. Never mind. So yeah, is comfortable enough. 5-speed gearbox in this 108 brake horsepower model. I wasn't actually quite expecting it. I thought we'd have a 6-speed in it, but this is quite an early car, so I think that's probably why it's only got a 5-speed manual in it, not a 6-speed. Or you get an automatic as well. I've driven one of those in a Citroen C3. Yeah, especially it's interesting sort of design. There's no sort of soft touch plastic in here or anything like that, but you don't expect that. Skoda Fabia doesn't have that. Yeah, there's the cruise control stalk here, which is Peugeot 208 or something like that. Yeah, it seems reasonably sort of okay in terms of what sort of equipment is in here. It's nothing too exciting, but it's okay. There's no lid for the storage cubby there. We've got a USB and aux in port and a 12-volt socket just there. You can put some cups in there as well if you want. Yeah, I suppose it's kind of fine for what you need it to. You can get more interesting interiors than this Flair model. I mean, it's not got an enormous amount of flair, to be honest. It's all black in here, but, you know, it's fine. The seats look all right. Seats are reasonably nice. And they're very soft as well. I think in the facelift cars from 2020, you got the advanced comfort seats, which apparently are even squishier and softer than these. There we go. Right, so because we can't open that door from the inside, what we have to do is just leave that open. And we'll have to open the bonnet from that side as well, because you have to open the door to open the bonnet. Interesting. Oh yes, we meet again. Yep, what's lurking on here, viewers? Ah yes, it's the Puretech engine. The good old 3-cylinder Puretech with the wet belt. Viewers, if you're going to buy one of these cars, I would absolutely advise you to get this wet belt changed as soon as possible if there's no evidence of it in the service history. Because if it fails, you are going to have problems. A lot of problems. All of the petrol C3s come with the Puretech engine, non-turbo and also turbocharged forms like this, 108 brake horsepower this engine. So that's the main thing. Now, the wet belt's not as bad to do as on a Ford EcoBoom or EcoBoost engine. That is far worse. It's about £400 to do it on this, double that for the Ford one. But really just look after that, because if you have your wet belt disintegrate, it's not good. Still, never mind. This one, obviously, you've been warned about, so that's okay. Right, let's have a look at the infotainment system, actually. That's what we'll do next. For some reason, that door's now fixed itself. Excellent. Right. One thing right away you'll notice is the fact that we've got no physical buttons for the heating and ventilation at all. We're going to have to go into this touchscreen to get to them. But we've noticed again this sort of square theme, a bit like a swircles on a Mark IV Panda. Which is interesting. Right, anyway, let's boot this up, shall we? Okay, viewers, we need to give this a little clean, don't we? Right, that'll do. So, we've got navigation in this car. I mean, it'll be like an incredibly old system, won't it, in here? Let's have a look, though. Oh, gosh, no, you have to use your compatible smartphone. Right, okay. So, yeah, this stays on the screen unless you go back to another menu. So this is the only way you can operate the heating and ventilation. It's through here. Now it's fine. It's big enough, I suppose. It's like a 7-inch screen or something. This, but it's just not as sensible as having this space here instead of dedicated to weird storage. Dedicated just having some normal heating and ventilation controls. That would be fine. But no, never mind. So stop, start, parking sensors, traction control, tyre pressure monitoring, diagnostic, settings, headlights, comfort things we have here. No, it's just whether the rear wiper comes on when you select reverse and the wipers in front are already on. Never mind. Okay, so what else have we got? DAB radio, yep, sources. We've got radio, USB and iPod. What is this, 2010? Anyway. It's not too bad, I suppose. It's reasonably simple for actually top of the range model. I think the Flair was top of the range at the time. I've got a little thing here which actually probably looks about this of servicing and when you need to service a car, which is quite handy. There's a display brightness. I don't think there's an awful lot here. It kind of is too exciting, really, on this. And actually, if you press that, the list, it comes up with this sort of thing on the screen here. So, I mean, yeah, so that actually operates this bit. So I can't remember offhand even whether this does anything. That's a radio preset. So this isn't anything to do with this screen here at all, which is really, really strange. Let's try this one here and see if that makes any difference to anything. Yeah, there we go. That's what it is. It's the one on the left. Okay, so that's range, mileage, average speed. Average economy is not too bad, I suppose. And there's the trip meter, auto stop start. Not very exciting, really, is it, viewers? You know, it's fine. But you just got to remember that this is a bit redundant, really, because you can just do it on there. But I don't know. I'm not Citroen's marketing department. I don't know what's best, do I? Right. Okay. Well, let's go. So it's down to third. There we go. Yeah, gearbox actually isn't too bad. I'd prefer a 6-speed personally. You could get an automatic on this 108 brake horsepower engine, which actually might be a little bit problematic. I don't know. Maybe stick to the manuals if you're a bit concerned about that. But yeah, it's fine really. It's perfectly easy to see out of the car. Whether the pillars at the back, C-pillars are quite big. Obviously, with this particular model, you get parking sensors and reversing camera, so that's not a problem. Yeah, I can understand the appeal of this. It's not particularly me, this, but if you're really into Citroens, or you like to be different, or you really want the protection of the air bumps in car parks, then maybe this is the car for you. Let's now look at some trim levels for the Mark III C3 viewers, and there were a lot of them. The C Series, the C Series Edition, the L, as in a magazine, I think, the Feel Nav Edition, the Flair Nav Edition. This is obviously not the Flair Nav Edition because we don't have sat nav. The Flair Plus, the Max, the Origins, the Plus, the St. James, the Sense, the Shine Plus, the Touch, and the U. Now the U didn't even get a colour touchscreen; it just got a monochrome touchscreen. But many of you won't be bothered about that. So with the facelift, you've got a standard LED headlamp, which is good. These aren't the advanced comfort seats. They came in 2020. You could get an optional panoramic roof, which is what I thought you could get, which is good. And you could get 36 different colour combinations. Obviously, this car is a very conservative choice of colour. So, viewers, should you consider a Mark III Citroen C3 with your Hahn and budget between £1,000 and £5,000? I think personally, I'd probably prefer like a Skoda Fabia to this. It's quite interesting, this car. It looks interesting and things like that, particularly in this Flair model with the air bumps on it. But I'm just a bit concerned about general quality and also those wet belt engines. Oh dear. Anyway, thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video and comment below, and we shall see you again soon for some more reasonably priced motoring.
1, 2, 3, 4. Every blue day, every day with blue skies.